I got to be in one of the biggest rock bands in the world, and that was a big experience. But in my hometown then of Seattle, it seemed like music wasn't getting any respect. The Washington State Legislature had a censorship bill. We had this anti-dance ordinance in Seattle. And here the Seattle music scene was selling millions of records worldwide, and the music community was just, we got no respect. And so we banded together, and we started to articulate what an asset the music community is, a cultural asset, an economic asset. We're definitely not a liability, not how these proponents of censorship were portraying it. And so that's, part of that advocacy was how I got my civic education. And then I discovered how election systems work, and I was just really, it was discouraging. And there was this one group, FairVote, the Center for Voting and Democracy, and they were advocating ranked choice voting, proportional representation for the United States. It's legal in the United States. There's scholarship, there's case law upholding it, constitutionally protected, and I was intrigued and I reached out. I started working with FairVote. I joined the board, then ultimately I became the chair. I'm excited about election reform in the United States. I think the time is ripe now that we can make change and give people a voice in their government, that we're taxpayers, we're subject to the rules and laws of our state and of our country, and that we should be able to pick who our representatives are instead of them picking us. And that's what the situation is right now. So with FairVote, we're promoting proportional representation. It's legal in the United States. There's about 100 cities in the United States that use it. There's a history of it in states using it. So basically you have these multi-member districts, and you can have a district with 2 Republicans and 1 Democrat, or 2 Democrats and 1 Republican. It depends on how many seats. It's multi-seat. It's called modified at large, alternative voting systems.
And tell me a little bit more about ranked choice, because I know that figures into your...
Yeah, ranked choice is another thing that empowers voters. It just gives you more choices. You rank your ballot. Everybody gets the same ballot and the same choices on the ballot. But however, you can put your favorite candidate as your first choice, and your second as your second choice, third choice, and so on. And it works like if you ever vote in a club where you can have multi-ballots, so you'll vote like on a second or third ballot. You eliminate the last place candidate, and then you have to pass out a ballot again, and then everybody votes on the remaining candidates. Well, with ranked choice voting, you do that on one ballot because those second and third, fourth choices, whatever, are redistributed to the remaining candidates. It's similar to runoff. It's also called instant runoff voting. It's an instant runoff instead of a runoff election that could take days, months.
Pretty revolutionary with that, right?
Yeah, Maine has switched for their state legislative elections and their congressional elections for ranked choice voting. Maine voters wanted to empower themselves, give themselves more choices. They wanted to have less negative campaigning. They wanted to moderate their politics, and we can handle it. It's 2017 right now. We're sophisticated people here in the United States, but we don't get those choices right now. Seems like the 2016 election, people were really frustrated with what the choices were. And so with ranked choice voting, I'll say it again, you get more choices, and you can express that. You have the power to express that.